Hello, folks. Jim Voss, high above my garage in Aiken, South Carolina, with the 37th edition of Just My Opinion. I am beyond disappointed tonight because in my research, well, that's a little bit later on. We're going to do that in a little while. After hearing the report, the Durham report, I got to thinking, all right now, somebody's going to jail. I just knew that if Madame Lardass paid for the illegal Steele dossier, and that it was proven that she did it, and that her campaign paid for it, and that it did harm Trump, and it has plagued Trump for years, that she would be going to jail. That just gives me, well, I can't say that. It just makes me happy to know that she could languish in prison for a few years. Only going to take a few. Put her in an aerobics class and take that giant multi-spring thigh master she's got, and she'll come out looking like Raquel Welch. I'm going to have to read it to you because there's a lot of information in it. Now, what happened was, if I get this all correct, that all of these people that knew it was not based on any truth, that it was all innuendo, lies, and rumors about President Donald Trump, yet they said nothing to stop the effects, to me, would be akin to the hand of one is the hand of all. In South Carolina, that's the way it is. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but I do know that's the law in South Carolina. If you're with someone and they murder another person, even though you don't have anything to do with it, you're just as guilty as the killer. So to me, Carter Page, all of these people, Nadler, Nancy, have another drink, Nancy, Crying Chuck, all of these people struck shitless shift, they all knew. They were part of it. They defended it. They went on the Sunday morning talk shows and they said, oh, gee whiz, we have got this thing that is sound as the Constitution itself. And they even called Trump a Russian agent. Tried to destroy his entire family with that. With one big fat lie. Now, in my world, and probably your world, if we were to put together and compile information that was 100% lies, not a non-truth, lies, about a prominent figure, whether he's in politics or not, and it damaged that person, we would be guilty of at least libel, slander, something, hell, pay the fine of a parking ticket, but something. See, this is part of this woke culture. There are no consequences for what you do that's wrong. I'm ashamed that I have lived a clean life as far as breaking the law goes. Other things, well, not so good. But the woke generation does not want consequences for actions that are improper, illegal, immoral, or just downright nasty. And it appears, one more time, that Madame Lardass, who paid to have this done, they paid Fusion to get this dirt by using a Russian agent. And he came up with things about Trump being in a hotel room in Russia with a prostitute, all kinds of garbage that had to hurt his family. I'm going to tell you what, Miss Trump's one fine-looking first lady. She's brilliant, smart, and so is Barron. I mean, yeah, she's just plain fine and smart. But regardless of the love that you have between a man and a woman, all of a sudden a supposedly credible source says that you're in Russia humping some prostitute in a 2-bed hotel. And they sell it to the entire population as gospel. Your spouse would tend to believe it. I know mine would. Hell, I'd be living out on the front porch. Maybe the back porch. And I just knew that some of these crooked politicians would end up being booted out of the Congress, booted out of the Senate, or put in jail, or made to pay a horrific fine. Something. So far, do you know how many of these crooked-ass politicians, so crooked when they die, you're going to have to screw them into the ground? Do you know how many of these? Do you know that Madame Lardass and Blowjob Bill, do you know how many of the people of the Clinton campaign have apologized to Donald Trump for the lies? Steele, Carter Page, all of that crew. Do you know how many said, I'm sorry? Not a one. Not a one. They did it, and after they were proven to be the liars that they are, they bragged about it. How they took down a sitting president, ruined his life, ruined his family life, ruined his opinion of his kids about him. All based on a bunch of damn lies. Is this what we have become when it comes to morals? You just say, oh, it's okay. It was politics. Big deal. We screwed you over. We destroyed you. No big thing. It's just politics. No hard feelings. Okay, I'm going to read you this bullshit right now. And I have to get my spectacles on because I'm blind without them close up. Distinguished looking, huh? Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and Democratic National Committee have agreed to pay $113,000 to settle a federal elections commission investigation into whether or not they violated campaign fraud by misreporting the spending on the famous Steele dossier. This is where they paid the money to Fusion to get the Russian recruit, the bad guy, to get the lying information on Trump. The Clinton campaign hired Perkins Coie, C-O-I-E, which then hired Fusion GPS, a research and intelligence firm, to conduct opposition research on the Republican candidate Donald Trump ties to Russia. When the Clinton campaign was found to be guilty, did you hear about this? I never heard about it. I'm still waiting to see who's going to go to jail for the illegal Steele dossier. And right here, it's already been settled. Got a slap on the hand, no pizza, and pay a little bit of money. And the Steele dossier is over with. No one's going to jail. No one's even going to have to say, I'm sorry. The Clinton campaign agreed to pay a civil penalty of $8,000 and the DNC $105,000, according to a pair of conciliatory agreements that were attached to the letter sent to the Coolidge-Reagan Foundation. The Steele dossier was a report compiled by the former British spy Christopher Steele and financed by the Democrats that included salacious allegations about Trump's conduct in Russia and allegations about Trump and the relationship between the campaign and Russia. Documents have shown that the FBI investigated significant sources attempting to corroborate the dossier and relied substantially on it to obtain the surveillance warrants targeting former President Trump and aide Carter Page. Now, if this doesn't piss you off, nothing will. But since its publication, core aspects of the dossier have been exposed as nothing more than unsupported and unproven rumors. Do you know how Madam Lardass got away with it? They didn't rest the case no one's heard of. They didn't rest the case on that, yes, she did it. She paid for it. Her campaign paid for it. They paid to set up a sitting president and to destroy his reputation. The main factor within the legal action was that paid this lawyer's firm to do research. Not to dig up dirt, but to just do research about Trump and his relationship to Russia. And that's how they got away with that pack of dirty, filthy lies, innuendos, accusations, and bullshit. $113,000. Now, you want to hear the real pisser? This article that I uncovered is over a year old. The Durham report just came out 2 months ago. And guess what? The Steele dossier trial was over a year ago, which means that Madam Lardass, all of her henchmen, all of her liars, all of her backers, had already taken her out of harm's way in probably a closed-door hearing where she probably wasn't even there. And so did we get our pound of flesh? Nah. It proves to us that the Democrats and the left and the woke generation are the lowlifes of humanity. the absolute dregs of humanity. Lower than squid shit, and that's on the bottom of the ocean. You get angry about this crap because of the two-tier justice system that exists in this nation. If you or I did this, we would be in jail. We would be without acreage. We would be without a house, without a car, because they would have sued us for every damn thing we got. $113,000 to Hillary Clinton is a drop of piss in the bucket. That's all there is to it. And once again, she dodges a bullet. A person who's got more dead bodies for extra baggage than anyone I've ever known of, ever since the Rose Law Firm, when she was outed for lying, blatantly lying, and the guy that outed her shows up a year later dead in his apartment under strange but not provable conditions, and so forth and so on. Mr. Middleton was the Clinton money front man, found dead in his apartment last year under strange but not provable conditions. There's so many. I believe that the DOJ and the FBI are afraid of Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. They proved that the Clinton Foundation was pay to play against everything ethical in the financial world, the way things operate. And yet, she's still got a lifetime membership at the Fat Farm. I would like to put every one of these lowlifes in prison, and as a punishment, I would put it on a loop, and I would play the taped rallies of every campaign, stump meeting, or rally that Trump ever had. And they got to listen to those same speeches over and over and over, 24/7. You know, I think it would be a just punishment. Listen to me, folks. Woke generation will be the death of this nation if we don't stop it, and stop it now. Disgusted, downtrodden, unhappy, and basically just pissed off at this worthless, and I do mean worthless, without one character pinpoint anywhere, this worthless administration. Every day he takes another fall. Every day he can't remember where he's at. Every day he forgets. Every day he can't find his way off of the podium. Every day he's only allowed to answer certain questions. And what do we have to back him up? Headboard Harris, horizontal mambo queen. Got to have another Mercedes. Put it on the layaway plan. Let's get rid of both of them, have them both pulled out of office, tarred and feathered, and then McCarthy will be president. He'll be a Republican. It'll be good to go. Grease the rails. These charges against Trump, they're probably going to make them stick. And I know that not many people listen to my broadcast, but I'm going to tell you something. The day that Donald Trump is convicted and the day he goes to prison, the streets will not be safe. The masses will rise up. I am not asking anybody to rise up, but it's going to happen. Just as they tried with District Attorney Bragg. This is all BS. How do you charge Donald Trump with all this bullshit about secret documents when Biden has 10 times as much stored in 5 different homes around the United States? And don't forget Madam Lardass washing away 30,000 top secret emails, and even those above top secret, in a server she kept in her bathroom. Let's see, was she fined for that? No. Does she have to do community service and go pick up beer cans beside the road? No. Did she have to go to jail for the night? No pizza for a week and no beer? No. Well, what did she have to do? How did she pay for the crime? Don't think anything happened to her. And it never will. Money talks, bullshit walks. It's the 2-tier system. And then you have the 2-tier revenge system, which they're using against Donald Trump right now. How will they put Donald Trump in jail when the President of the United States has been doing the same thing for the last 20 years? And the DOJ, here it comes, the DOJ said yesterday that they did not see where there was any relationship between Biden's China ventures that was a threat to national security. Wait a minute, you're going to pay me to change my mind about policy, but that has nothing to do with national security? Let me tell you like it is. The cover your ass brigade is out, and they have girded themselves with the bullshit of armor. These are going to be a rioting kind of 2 to 3 months coming up. But any further messing with Donald Trump or any type of conviction is going to prove upsetting to a lot of people. This is Jim Voss, high above my garage in Aiken, South Carolina, on a rainy Sunday evening. I pray to God we have some help from upstairs. And I don't mean the second floor of my house. I will hope God will deliver us from this. Have a good evening. I love you. I mean it. I know that we haven't lived up to the promises. We haven't taken the warm showers together. We haven't held hands and skipped down the lane. We haven't gone bowling and had that beer. We haven't even had that warm shower together, which I really look forward to. I love you all, especially my vets, my police officers, my first responders, those people who take care of us every day. They put their lives on the line every day. I love you. And especially the good-looking blonde with the low-cut blue dress. Bill had one of those. Okay. I love you. Take care. As Seacrest says, out.